So how are we doing a few months after Killing Floor 3 came out? We recently got the first major update, and this game went on sale for the first time. I also have about 50 hours of playtime, and I can tell you what to expect at this point. If you have no idea about Killing Floor 3, it's a wave-based first-person shooter where you kill genetically engineered zombie-like enemies, and you can play it online cooperatively. I recommend watching my first review if you want to know more in detail. Anyway, yes, I'm rocking PlayStation 2 graphics right now. These are my specs, and I'm sure I can crank up the graphics settings a little bit. There's been some hot fixes and small patches, but when it comes to the first content update that we waited 3 months for, it's alright. The main new content we got were the 3 new weapons for the Commando, Sharpshooter, and Engineer, all classes that I like. The new weapons are cool, but this is a majority of the update. A new map would have been huge, but I guess there's new cosmetics. Well, there's also new mods, which is pretty cool, but that's all of the actual new content. There's some other good things like these, and a new gameplay feature. Other than that, it's optimization and balance changes. I mean, it's not bad, but a lot of people would boil this down to just 3 new weapons, myself included. And as someone who's been playing somewhat daily or weekly, I just wish there was a bit more. We didn't even get an event on Halloween. I really had to pace myself to play this game consistently to even get to 50 hours. I don't blame a lot of people for putting this game down, but at least this update brought some people back. As we take a look at the player count a few months after launch, it's not looking too good. Before the update, the player count would average about 200 to 300 players and get as low as about 100 players, sometimes less. But this update shot it up to 1,000 players, which is pretty crazy. But I'm sure that you can imagine that it didn't stay that way. We're back to averaging a few hundred players and dropping. This will have its ups and downs. It's sad, but this is what confirms that Killing Floor 3 is still a flop. The player count got so low that Killing Floor 1 had more players sometimes. That shouldn't happen. But let's say you're someone who's new to Killing Floor. Would you rather get Killing Floor 1 or 2 for a couple of dollars with positive reviews? Or get Killing Floor 3 for $30 to $40 with mixed to negative reviews? Gee, I wonder. Even a sale can't do too much right now, but it was a good entry point for some people with that first content update. I don't know exactly what's next or when, but we do have this roadmap that tells us enough for now. Hopefully each update just makes this game more and more worth it. We're still missing features, or at least can benefit from a lot of things like more maps, more guns, more specialists, maybe more assignments and achievements. We definitely need more events. We need objective mode, endless mode, and features that makes a Killing Floor game feel complete, like a server browser, Steam Workshop, and actual collectibles. I said I liked the hub in my last Killing Floor 3 review, but I do wish that you didn't have to interact with it sometimes, only because I'm a solo player right now. I still want more in the hub. And not having a server browser is criminal to true Killing Floor fans, and I'm personally offended that we don't have a Steam Workshop and collectibles. Not to mention that I'm still having some issues with the multiplayer. Maybe someone can help, but I just mess around with the settings and restart the game and it'll eventually get working, but sometimes I'd rather just play solo. It's smoother than multiplayer anyway, at least for me. It can make it a bit harder to deal with the movement system online. I don't mind when it's smooth, but I definitely prefer the movement system and pace of Killing Floor 1 and 2. You just have to be a bit more of a crackhead to keep up with the enemies, which can work in your favor. Also, one of the main things keeping me going on this game was the supply pass. It's exactly what you think it is, and a lot of people thought it was funny how fleshed out this was compared to other parts of the game. The worst part is, it's not even that good. There's a lot of cosmetics and some useful stuff like currency, but a lot of the cosmetics just weren't doing it for me. I recently completed the Battle Pass in late October, and sure, I think the final skin is pretty cool, but a lot of the camos were pretty lame. Some charms were pretty cool, but nothing too special about the first supply pass. I don't regret it because it's the very first one, but be cautious moving forward. Speaking of me completing the supply pass, let's look at what else you can expect at 50 hours of playtime. Here's all of my perk levels, and as you can see, I'm main Commando right now, and you can start to see which perks I prefer and the ones I mostly ignore. I have my preferences when starting out. You probably don't care to see my skills, but my armory is pretty interesting. I like to name all of my weapons, even if it's a small change. I also like having a cool skin with a correlating charm or emblem. It can be fun to customize your weapons and have enough options to make it a bit personal. One of my favorite types of progression is achievements, and at this point I have most of them. I got most of these in the first month, and this achievement didn't unlock when I completed it the first time. I'll try again sometime later. I also still need to play on Hell on Earth, and I haven't done that yet because I've been pacing myself and building up towards this level 30 achievement. Other than that, it's up to you if Killing Floor 3 is worth playing at this point. I'm sure they'll add some stuff after this video, but I don't think this will ever be better than Killing Floor 1 or 2. But I honestly don't hate this game as much as everyone else. I'm able to play this game every few days, every week, maybe even every month. All I really need is more content. I'm at 50 hours and I've pretty much experienced everything. I still need to max every perk and experience that, but most people don't want to do that on the same maps with the same weapons over and over. But if you pace yourself, it's not the worst. But the smarter move is to wait for a better sale after more updates. I really only bought this game for content. Otherwise, I would have waited until it was $20 or probably less. It still feels like early access to a lot of people, but I still have some hope. I might have overrated this game in my first review because everything was new, but after this game not following up very well in this modern day and age of live service and constant updates, I'd probably lower my score to a 6 or 6.5. Let's see how this changes over time. I really hope there's a Christmas event after this video. I'm one of the few people still believing in this game. Man, it's not easy. It hasn't even been doing good on my channel yet compared to my Killing Floor 1 or 2 videos. But you know that makes you a real one for making it this far. I don't even ask you to like or subscribe until this point of the video. Drop a comment telling me what you think, but I just wanted to make a brief little video on the state of Killing Floor 3 in late 2025 and my experience. It's gonna be rough, but the journey continues to see if Killing Floor 3 digs itself out of this situation. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.